Hello students, welcome to the English class. This is Roopna Ramindran, Assistant Professor of English, Government Degree College, Chevalla in Rangareddy district of Telangana. Today, let us discuss the topic prepositions. So, this is a very important topic indeed, and this topic is part of your General English textbook, English in Use, prescribed by Osmania University for undergraduate students. Let us go to the next slide. What are prepositions? Prepositions are words or phrases that connect a noun or a pronoun to a verb or adjective in a sentence. So what is written here? Prepositions are words that indicate the relation between a noun and other words in a sentence. So it can be a relation between a noun and an adjective or a noun and a verb. So let us look at the first example. You read along with me. There is a cow in the field. So in this sentence, in is preposition. The word in is preposition. It shows the relation between two things. What are the two things? Two nouns in the sentence. Tell me. Yes, correct. Cow and field. So cow is a noun, field is a noun. So here in is the preposition that shows the relation between cow and field. Next example. He is fond of tea. So in second sentence, the word of is the preposition. It shows the relation between the attribute expressed by adjective fond and the noun tea. Okay. So here the relation is between the adjective fond and the noun tea. Now sentence 3. Read the sentence. The cat jumped off the chair. It is O-F-F, double F. Okay, that is the preposition. It shows a relation between the action expressed by the verb. What is the verb here? Jumped. And the noun. What is the noun in this sentence? Yeah, there are two nouns. But what is the noun in the end of the sentence? Chair. So here the relation is expressed between the verb and the noun. The verb jumped and the noun chair. Okay? I hope it is clear. It is very simple. In, of and O-double-F are prepositions in these three sentences. Okay? So they explain relationships of sequence, some order or space or logic between the object of the sentence and the rest of the sentence. It is very clear. In all the three sentences, there is an object which comes to the end of the sentence and the rest part of the sentence which comes in the beginning part. Okay? They help us to understand the order, time connections and positions. To understand time, place, movement, manner, everything, we use prepositions. So most of these prepositions vary in their contextual and natural use. So according to the appropriacy of situation, we have to use the right preposition. So there is an easy chance to be confused about the usage of prepositions. People tend to confuse in the usage of prepositions. Now let us read these three sentences and identify prepositions in these sentences. The first sentence is, the road runs over hill and plain. What is the preposition here? The preposition is over. So over is connecting the verb runs and the noun hill and plain. Next, I agree with you. With is preposition, agree is verb and you is object, pronoun here. What are you looking at? So in the question, the preposition comes at the end. So in this particular question, what is the preposition? At. Preposition is at. So let us go to the next slide. There are different types of prepositions, or you can say that prepositions can be arranged into different classes. So to name the classes, they are simple prepositions, double prepositions, compound prepositions, participle prepositions, and prepositional phrases. So in each slide, I have described each preposition separately so that it becomes clear to you. So simple preposition, as the name suggests, it is very simple. Preposition can be of 1, 2, 3 or even more words. The most common preposition in English language are simple prepositions. Example, at, by, for, in, of, on, out, though, till, to, up, with. All these are simple words, small words, and they are called simple prepositions. Let us read the sentences. I'll read only 2 sentences. Rest of the sentences you can read on your own. He sat on the chair. So he is sitting on top of the chair. On is the preposition there. There is some milk in the fridge. The sentence in is preposition. Milk is available inside the fridge. Next one. Next is double prepositions. So double prepositions are formed by joining 2 simple prepositions. Example will be into, upon, onto, out of, etc. Okay. So first example, he was too deeply engrossed into the activity. He was too much into the activity, too much concentrated into that activity. When kids watch TV, they keep their mouth open and listen. So too engrossed, too concentrated. Next, the prestige of a nation lay upon its citizens. The respect of a nation depends upon its citizen. So what are the prepositions joined here? Up is one preposition, on is one preposition. So up and on combine to become upon. Clear? First one simple, then double preposition combining 2 simple prepositions. So the next one is compound prepositions. They are formed by prefixing a preposition to a noun, an adjective or an adverb. Example, astronauts work a long way above the surface of the earth. So above is here a compound preposition. Next one, distribute these toffees among 10 children. Among is a compound preposition. It is not very simple word like the simple preposition, but these are a bit lengthy word in spelling. So these kind of prepositions are compound preposition. Other example will be without, beside, until, around, behind, between. All these are compound prepositions. I hope it is clear for you. Next one is participle preposition. You know participle form of the verb that ends in ing form. Okay. So those kinds of prepositions, those kinds of words used in the place of preposition are called participle preposition. Examples will be assuming, considering, regarding, notwithstanding, etc. It can be present participle and also past participle. Okay, past participle in the case ed form, provided, regarded, and all that. So first sentence, Joseph was talking to James regarding the new scientific developments. So participial preposition ends with ing form or ed form. Here it is ing form. So what is the preposition used here? Regarding. Next is I am working during the night and I am exhausted. Ing form during is the present participle form of the verb. It is participial preposition. Notwithstanding, following, including, all these are participial prepositions. Next is phrasal prepositions. Phrasal preposition is very important for you because in your textbook you have a complete exercise based on phrasal prepositions. Phrasal prepositions are group of words or phrases that work with the force of a single preposition. They act just like a single preposition, but they may not be a single word or two words. They may be a phrase as such. Phrase in the sense 2 words, 3 words, it can be 4 words also. So examples are agreeable to, according to, owing to, because of, in addition to, with a view to, in accordance with, on behalf of. All these are what prepositions? Phrasal prepositions. Example. Let us read the examples. In case of need, phone 232323. Okay, that is a helpline number. So 3 words in the beginning of the sentence. In case of, they are called phrasal prepositions. Next, owing to his ill health, he retired from his job. Owing to is phrasal preposition. Let's go to the next slide. Here you have the exercise that is given in the textbook, in your textbook. So, in the bracket, they have given a list of phrasal prepositions. You have to use it appropriately in the sentence given below. In the sentences given below. So first one, I gave a presentation dash all my classmates. Which one will be the correct? You have to add each one and see if it fits in. On behalf of all my classmates. That is the correct answer. I gave a presentation on behalf of all my classmates. Next, dash. It was a pretty good film. Search which one will be the correct. Yes, it is on the whole. On the whole, it was a pretty good film. He withdrew his application dash his rival. Earlier, he had kept an application against the rival, but now he withdrew the application and that was in favor of his rival. So, what is a phrasal preposition here? Correct phrasal preposition, in favor of. Fourth one, dash the heat, we all worked during the summer. It was very hot in summer, but in spite of that heat, we all worked during summer. So, what is the phrasal preposition to be used here? In spite of. Next, fifth sentence. Dash a fire, exit from the rear window. So, if there is a fire, in case of fire, you have to exit from the back window. So, what is the phrasal preposition that you have to write here? In case of. In case of. Next, can I help you dash? Find out, it is simple. In any way. Can I help you in any way? I would rather have water dash a soft drink. I would rather have water instead of soft drink. So one person is given soft drink. He doesn't like soft drink. He doesn't like Pepsi, Coca-Cola and all. So he is asking water instead of that. Instead of is a phrasal preposition. Eighth sentence. Read the eighth sentence. Yes. We all have to work dash government rules. We all have to work according to the government rules. We are all government employees. So whatever the government says, we have to abide according to the government rules. So according to is the phrasal preposition over there. Ninth sentence. He opened the attachment dash curiosity. He got an attachment along with the mail from his friend. So he is very interested to open that attachment. So what will we say there? He opened the attachment out of curiosity. He opened the attachment out of curiosity. Out of is the prepositional phrase over there. 10th one. Dash the crew. There were 60 passengers on the flight. There were 60 passengers and the crew members also in the flight. So to mean that, which phrasal preposition do we use? In addition to. In addition to the crew, there were 60 passengers on the flight. So, to have a sense of the correct phrasal preposition, what do you have to do? You have to develop reading skills. If you read a lot, then automatically you get the understanding of which preposition you have to use in the correct place. You cannot by heart the preposition. You will not understand the usage. Then you have to read a lot. Only reading skill can help you. Vocabulary, grammar, etc. Now, to show the relations between prepositions, I have drawn a few figures here so that the prepositions become clear for you. Okay. Several relations are expressed by using prepositions. Example would be prepositions of place, prepositions of time, prepositions of agency, instrumentality, device, machinery, etc. Then you have preposition of manner. You have preposition of cause, reason, purpose, preposition of position, preposition of standard, preposition of motive also. So, I am not describing all these prepositions. It will be high for you. So, what you will do, we'll discuss 3 important preposition relations expressed by prepositions that are covered in your textbook. So, those are prepositions of place, prepositions of time, and prepositions of position or movement. So here in this slide, you can easily study the prepositions of place depending upon the figures that are given here. Okay. So first figure you see, you have a light blue color of a box and you have a can. You have a can inside the box. So which preposition will you use? In the box. Okay. The can is in the box. Now in the second figure, I have kept the can on the box. Okay. Where is the can? The can is on the box. I hope it is clear for you. So when do you use the preposition on? When it is on top of the box. Next preposition is above the box. Okay. To show above the box, I have kept the can a little above. On is on top. Okay. Here you have it on the top. And if you have to use the preposition above, it should be a little more on top. Okay. Then the preposition is above the box. Now under the box. Just below the box means under the box. And if it is far below, you use the preposition below the box. Okay. If it is next to the box, then you say beside the box. Okay. B-E-S-I-D-E. Beside the box. Come here. You have it in the front of the box. So which preposition will you use in front of the box? It is in front of the box. Here you have it encircled by boxes. The can is encircled by boxes. So what do you use there? among the boxes. Okay, there are so many boxes and it is somewhere in between all the boxes. So you don't use a preposition between there, you use among. When do you use the preposition between? When you have two boxes and if the can is in the middle of two boxes, then you use the preposition between two boxes. And the last one, I have kept the can in the back side of the box, that is behind the box. I hope it is clear for you. You can take a screenshot of this and learn. Again, in the next slide, we have another set of pictures. So these pictures make it easy for you to understand. That's why I have drawn all these pictures. So in the first one, you have a can falling down the stairs. It is coming down the stairs. So what do we use here? Which preposition do we use here? Down the stairs. Here the can is going upwards. So we use up the stairs. Next, the can is coming out of the box. It is going out. So the preposition is out of. If the can is coming inside the box, there is a movement. Okay, this is not static. This is not stationary. So there is a movement and it is coming into the box. That is the difference. In is not moving. Into is moving. Past the box. You are going straight from here to here. Past the box. Then here the can is moving. You look at the arrow. It is going towards the box. But in this one, here you have the can going away from the box. And this one you have can surrounding the box. That is around the box. It is moving like the red thing moving. You can see it moving around the box. And here the can is going over the box. It is not touching the box, but it is going on top of the box. So it is called over the box. Now the can is on top of the box and it is going out. That is, it is going off the box. Okay, it is going off the box. Now from outside, it is coming onto the box. Okay, that is, the preposition is onto the box. Then you have a road or a path here, and if the pins are arranged in the direction of the path, same direction, it is called along the path. If it is in the same direction of the road or same direction of the path, then it is called along the path. Here you have it crossing from one place to another, one point to another, and in that case you use the preposition, this one, you use the preposition across. It is not along but then across, opposite direction. So it is across. Then you have a tunnel here. I have drawn a tunnel here and it is going from one end to the other end. So which preposition do you use here? You use the preposition through the tunnel. You use the preposition through the tunnel. Then you have prepositions used to denote time. Common prepositions used are in, at, on. Okay, but we also use the prepositions for, before, after, since, between, etc. to denote the relationship of time. So I'll read a few sentences. Here you have one sentence. The event happened in the 20th century. Okay, so when we are talking about centuries, we use the preposition in. When we are talking about seasons, we use the preposition in. I am going to France in the winter. When we are talking about years, we use the preposition in. When we are talking about months, we use the preposition in. When we are talking about days, we use the preposition on. So note all these things. Okay. Precise time, then we use the preposition at. I wake up at 5 a.m. Don't stay up late at nights. Then if you are talking about years, continuous process, you are talking about something in continuous perfect tense, then it is you use the word for. When do you use since? Since is also used in perfect tense. Here you have since, also used in perfect tense, but then it is from a definite past until now, since yesterday evening. I am meeting my brother after 2 years. I am meeting my brother after 2 years. Last sentence. She came to my home before the Christmas vacation. Next slide, you have some commonly confused pair of prepositions. In, into and into. In indicates state of rest. The pen is in the box. It is not moving. Okay, it is static. Next is into. Into denotes movement. I am putting the pen into the box. So I am just throwing it into the box. I hope you understand. Don't confuse this with into. They are two separate prepositions, not the same preposition. Example given here. A customer came in to order a pizza. You have a pause there. A customer came in to order a pizza. Next is on and upon. Again, on means rest. The can is on the box. It is not moving. Okay. I threw a can upon the box. So it just flew over the box. Next, in and at. In means a precise time. At means precise time or a location. He lives at Rajendra Nagar. It is conducted at 12 o'clock. In. He lives in Hyderabad. He came in September. When I say these examples, and if it is not there in the slide, you can write those sentences in a paper. That would be helpful for you. Next, by. By. By means near. Beside means next to. Nearer than by. By a little far, but then beside is very much close. Besides means in addition to. You can read the example so that it will be clear for you. Next is between and among. You use between when there are only two things. Among when there are more than two people, group or things. So the match is between India and Australia. Two countries are there. The World Cup will be played among 16 teams. So how many teams are there? 16 teams. So which preposition will we use there? Among. Next is across and through. So that is very clear in that picture that I have given. Through the tunnel means it is going inside the tunnel and then coming outside. Across means from one border to another border. The duck swam across the river. From one side to another side it just swam. Seventh one, about and on. Both have the same meaning, that is regarding, but there is a slight difference. We had a discussion about money. He gave a lecture on finance. So first one suggests that the discussion was just ordinary, but in the second sentence it suggests that it is highly serious, academic and suitable only for specialists. Eighth one, above and over. Above is preferred when one thing is not directly over another. Example, there is a temple over the lake. It is not above the lake, sorry. There is a temple above the lake. It is not on top of the lake, but a little away from the lake. He put on sweater on his shirt. So he is directly putting it above the shirt, on top of the shirt. So he put on a sweater over his shirt. Can read the other examples as well. Here you have differences between ask for and ask to. Ask for something you need. Ask to do something. Example, I asked for a donut and orange juice. I am hungry, so I asked for something to eat. I asked the students to be silent. Okay, there I am using ask to. She will ask to ride horses for her birthday. She likes horse riding, so she will ask everyone to ride horses. Think of and think about. Think of means to have an idea of someone or something in your mind. Think of number between 1 and 10. It is just a passing thought. Think about means you deeply concentrate, you understand it, you remember, and then you take a decision regarding that. This beautiful made me think about our last holiday. Now it is Corona days. We don't have any holidays. Our luggages are all on rest. Our bag is sleeping. So we are thinking about our last holiday. Oh, such a nice feeling. Last holiday was that good. When will we go for another holiday? Next time. You are making a decision about it. Next slide, you have verbs and prepositions coming together. So these are called prepositional verbs. A sentence having preposition and a verb. You have a combination of a verb and a preposition. I'll give you one example. If you want, you can write it down. She is waiting for him. Waiting is a verb. For is preposition. I'll read it again. She is waiting for him. Waiting is verb and you use for preposition. So you have to use the correct preposition along with the verb. All prepositions may not suit there. If you use a wrong preposition, then it becomes grammatically incorrect. Another example. The kids are laughing at a joke. Laughing is verb, at is preposition. She is suffering from fever. Suffering, verb, from preposition. So here you have a long list of verbs preposition. I'll give you a few more. You can write it down if you want. Laugh at, knock at, listen to, consist of, beg for, look at, wait for, agree with, believe in, remind of, worry about, approve of, charge with. So this becomes perfect only if you use the right preposition along with the right verb. Otherwise, the whole sentence becomes grammatically incorrect. Yeah, here you have the textual exercise. Fill in the blanks with appropriate preposition. You will be given a verb and then you have to use the right preposition over there. First, 5 sentences I will read. Rest 5 you can do on your own. The principal presided over the meeting. Presided plus over is prepositional verb. His report dealt with the academic activities of the college. Dealt is verb and with is preposition. The principal thanked the students for their cooperation. The chief guest congratulated the students on their performance. He said that the secret of success lies in hard work. So let us go to the next slide. Here I have given 12 sentences. So in each sentence there is an error. You have to correct it and you have to do it on your own. 2 sentences, I'll give you answers and after that you have to do it on your own. First one, he picked up a fight with me. So picked is a verb. Up will not go along with picked. So what do you write? The correct answer is he picked a fight with me. Next, I ordered for a coffee. I ordered a coffee. So rest of the sentence you try to do it on your own, and then in the next slide I have given answers and references. I have added a few links. You can go and you can check these websites where you will get more details about different kinds of prepositions. So I hope the topic preposition is clear for you. So practice so that it becomes easy for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you, students.